I'm Gary McCaleb. In the fall of 1993, not long before Christmas, I was invited to do something that I often enjoyed doing during the years that I was mayor, and that was to read a children's book to a group of elementary school children. As I entered the school that day, the librarian handed me a book I'd never seen before and said, "Just open the book and begin to read." And as I did, the opening lines were about Art Atchison Ainsworth, who was a very singular boy, and it went on to say in the second paragraph, he lived in Abilene, Texas with his aunt and uncle who ran a Wild West show. At that point, I turned to the librarian and asked about the authenticity of the book. She said it was an authentic book that had just been published and was being distributed throughout the United States. Naturally, I was pleased to hear that Abilene had been selected as the site for this particular book, which is a great story about children and has a wonderful moral about brothers and sisters caring and loving each other. As soon as I got back to the office, I asked if someone would see if we could locate the author, William Joyce. All it said in the back of the book was that he lived in Shreveport, Louisiana. In just a few minutes, I found that William Joyce was on the line, and I had a pleasant conversation with him, asking him how he came to select Abilene. It turned out he had never been here, didn't know anyone who lived in Abilene, and so we invited him to come to Abilene for a special luncheon, during which we proclaimed William Joyce Day. After the luncheon, as William Joyce and I had an opportunity to visit, we talked about the role that children's literature played in our society. And he made a statement that I think that I shall never forget. He said, "You know, children's literature and children's illustrations are the first art and the first literature to which children are exposed, and so it should be very good." With that idea in mind, we began to think about how we could develop something that eventually had a name. The name was the National Center for Children's Illustrated Literature.